led to article after article of people being like, Ellen is a nasty person. And all these staffers started to come out, not for nothing, but I know a guy, I know him very well, whose sister worked for her, who said, you were not allowed to make eye contact with Ellen in the halls of that show. If you saw her, this is not a nice person. So she eventually got canceled, but now she's coming back.
Hold on to your kombucha, because the supposed queen of daytime TV, Ellen DeGeneres, is facing a smackdown of epic proportions, and it's coming from the most unexpected duo, Megyn Kelly and Rob Schneider. Yes, you heard that right. The sharp-tongued journalist and the master of goofy comedy have apparently joined forces to peel back the layers of Ellen's be kind persona, and what they're revealing is less rainbows and sunshine and more like a corporate thunderstorm. Get ready, because this isn't just gossip. It's a potential takedown of an entire carefully crafted image.
I have a question for you on this. This is perfect for you, because I'm seeing this week that there is an attempted comeback by somebody who did not cross one of those fateful lines of the misstepping on their sacred cows of gender or race or sexuality.
Yeah.
But she was said to be a nasty biatch, and that's Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah.
So her show got canceled after she had this testy exchange with Dakota Johnson, where something happened where Dakota said, I had this birthday party, and Ellen said, well, why didn't you invite me? You didn't invite me. And she said, no, I did invite you, Ellen. That's not what happened. And Ellen had blown her off and then tried to play the victim on the set with her. Anyway, it led to article after article of people.
It's like watching a perfectly staged play go horribly wrong, and the critics aren't holding back. Imagine a pair of unlikely detectives walking into the pristine world of daytime television, ready to throw all the furniture around. Megyn Kelly, armed with truth serum and a killer instinct for sniffing out BS, teams up with Rob Schneider, who prefers flamethrowers and rubber chickens. Together, they form a wrecking ball aimed squarely at Ellen's carefully constructed kindness empire. It's almost poetic. Schneider, a veteran of the comedy scene known for his often outrageous, sometimes offensive humor, juxtaposed against Kelly, the emblem of serious, no-nonsense journalism. Imagine the board meeting.
All people on earth to be feeling sorry for herself, Ellen DeGeneres should not be on the list.
She should at least, but make a real apology and do it.
There's no apology. It's just woe is me. I was run out of Hollywood as she speaks from this grandiose stage on Netflix. Hello, you haven't been canceled if you are doing a Netflix special. She got $20 million for the one before this. I'm sure.
Look, Megyn Kelly is the type of person who can ask the quiet questions out loud, and she decided to swing for the fences on this one. She didn't tiptoe around the issue, she practically declared war on Ellen's carefully constructed image. It's like watching someone meticulously dismantle a Lego castle, brick by brick, while explaining exactly why the architectural design was flawed from the start. She basically called Ellen out for wearing a mask of niceness, one that's been glued on with an industrial-strength PR team. Let's be real, it was a bold move, but it needed to happen.
We're going to let her back in, Rob, because she's a lesbian, she's a leftist, and she didn't hit one of their sacred cows. Nastiness, that's their bread and butter.
Well, I think everyone... I will say, like, the resentment, I think everyone should have a chance for reconciliation. I don't think Jesus exempted anybody. And so I do, while it does, because I have been allowed back in, but I don't hold any grievance and resentment. It's very important. And I would just say for Ellen, the resentment, you have to know, you have to get over resentment to whatever addiction or addictive qualities happen. To get over it, you have to deal with resentment and address it, and then otherwise you're going to fall back into the same pattern.
Let's be honest. For years, Ellen built her brand on being the fun, relatable friend we all wanted to grab coffee with, but whispers of a toxic work environment painted a different picture. These whispers grew and grew. It was like a pressure cooker, slowly reaching the point of explosion. It's kind of ironic that someone who preached kindness could allegedly preside over a workplace that felt more like a pressure cooker. Megyn Kelly wasn't just pointing out a few bad apples. She claimed there was a systemic issue, a culture of deflecting and denying any accountability. It's as if Ellen's kindness campaign was a giant, elaborate magic trick, and Megyn Kelly was there to reveal all the hidden wires and trapdoors.
The right response.
Yeah.
She's got a Netflix special, and here's the capper. on the promo, she plays the victim. And she says, "Poor me." And she actually has the nerve to say that she was run out of Hollywood. This person
with $100 million in her pocket.
$450 million, according to Forbes. That's a low estimate.
Yeah.
Because so now she's out there saying, I was run out of Hollywood. She's actually reportedly complaining about how hard it is for women in America with the double standards.
Look at Oprah, how hard it is for her.
Oh, she's got, like 10 houses, Ellen DeGeneres?
Michelle Obama, look how hard it is for women in America. They're hurting.
The thing is, Ellen's whole "be kind" motto became a punchline, didn't it? It became a symbol of the disconnect between her on-screen persona and the behind-the-scenes stories that were leaking out. It's like selling bottled water while secretly polluting the local river. Meanwhile, Rob Schneider approached the whole thing with the subtlety of a marching band crashing a funeral. It was pure, unadulterated chaos, but there was a method to his madness. He zeroed in on the absurdity of it all, the performative nature of Ellen's kindness, and he turned it into comedy gold.
With a single tweet, a user asked his followers to share the craziest stories they'd heard about Ellen being rude, and what followed was pure chaos. It was like watching thousands of people piece together a giant puzzle of bad behavior. One user replied with, quote, "I worked at Real Food Daily, served her and Portia at brunch. She wrote a letter to the owner and complained about my chipped nail polish. Not that it was on her plate, but just that it was on my hand. I had worked till the closing night before, and it was just the next morning. Almost got me fired."
Rob Schneider, the comedic wildcard, basically painted a picture of the Ellen Show as a dystopian world where forced smiles and choreographed joy were mandatory. Imagine the water cooler talk, if anyone dared to talk by the water cooler at all. This image stands in stark contrast with Ellen's intended portrayal. It's as if he was saying, "Look, I'm not buying it. This isn't genuine. This is a carefully crafted illusion." His unfiltered take cuts through the Hollywood BS like a hot knife through butter. Schneider is the court jester poking fun at the queen, but his jokes are laced with truth.
The Ellen situation.
Yeah.
You know, people found out that Ellen was mean, and all these people came out and said, "Ellen's actually a bitch." And they were like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
I can't believe it." And she lost everything. She fell apart, disappeared, because people found out that this character that she was portraying in a half an hour on a television show is not really who she was. My buddy Greg, who was one of her writers, was like, "She's a piece of shit." And he was like, "She's a monster."
Together, Megyn and Rob created a perfect storm of truth-telling. Megyn with her precision and journalistic credibility, and Rob with his comedic savagery, they exposed the cracks in Ellen's facade. Think of it this way. Megyn was the surgeon, carefully dissecting the problem, while Rob was the demolition expert, gleefully blowing up the remaining pieces. They're an odd couple, but their combined impact is undeniable. The whole narrative of Hollywood kindness is unraveling faster than a cheap sweater in a washing machine. It's as if they're both saying, "Hey, remember that shiny, perfect image you all bought into? Well, take a closer look."
Have they made progress with the strike?
They're picketing right now, so I think it's the early stages. I would think it might take a little bit with this one.
When someone crosses the writer strike, that's some dirty shit. They cross the picket line.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody doing that yet.
I think Ellen did. I had a buddy of mine who was writing on Ellen. Everybody kind of knows now what she's really all about. And that's another one of those. Like, press. I'm so nice and I'm so sweet. Being behind the scenes.
The irony is palpable. Ellen built her career on being relatable and spreading joy. Yet the allegations of a toxic work environment suggested a very different reality. It's almost like a magician who's great at pulling rabbits out of hats, but behind the scenes, the rabbits are being mistreated. The mugs and t-shirts that scream "be kind" start to feel more like taunts than affirmations. Once you see the bigger picture, that's what you call an industrial strength hypocrisy, a brand built on a foundation of alleged mistreatment and fear. It's like slapping a fragile sticker on a package filled with dynamite.
People would have been pleasantly surprised to find out I'm kind.
Well, yeah, that's disingenuous. That's disingenuous.
Yeah, disingenuous.
Disgenerous. That's disgenerous. Well, I think you should, I mean, there's certainly no lack of, I don't sense any humility
No.
in that.
No. And no one cares that now she's dealing with chickens. It's like, all right,
You're a normal $450 million
Right.
person.
And by the way, I guarantee you she's
Who's
worth
taking
a
care
lot
of her
more.
chickens? I guarantee. What's that? You guarantee what?
She's worth a lot more
yeah,
than
yeah.
$450 million.
Her art alone.
And like those talk show hosts.
What's fascinating is how two people from completely different worlds, with totally different styles, arrived at the same conclusion. Ellen's image was a carefully constructed illusion. It's like a puzzle where the pieces don't quite fit together, and Megyn and Rob both independently realized the same thing. Some pieces are missing. This isn't just about Ellen, though. It's about the larger problem of celebrity culture and the carefully curated images that are often presented to the public. Ellen's downfall is a cautionary tale, a reminder that authenticity matters and that you can't build an empire on fake smiles and empty gestures.
Too much. I can't stand these rich celebrities who want us to feel sorry for them. We don't, right? It's like all those you saw, like Julia Roberts on the Oprah special with Kamala Harris, like, oh, and Meryl Streep. Like,
I know, winning over the hearts of people who live in gated communities everywhere.
well, wait, are these still your people? Are you still in California?
No, I had to move out of California because I
Yes.
got little kids. And
We
it's
understand why.
It's dangerous to, in California, take your kids, in public schools. In the morning you drop off a girl, in the afternoon you pick up a boy. You never know what you get.
All the carefully crafted apologies and emotional goodbyes just reeked of damage control. It was too little, too late. Think of it like a last-ditch effort to plug a dam with a roll of duct tape after the floodgates have already burst. Ellen tried to control the narrative, but the truth had already seeped out. And the audience, they're not buying it anymore. They're watching, they're scrutinizing, and they're wondering who else is hiding behind a mask of kindness. And remember the kindness campaign shirts that were being sold in the gift shop? Remember those mugs with the Be Kind slogan? Now they look less like gentle reminders and more like evidence in a trial. So, where do we go from here? Will Ellen bounce back with a new rebrand and a renewed focus on authenticity? Or will she fade into obscurity, a cautionary tale of a daytime diva who lost touch with reality? It's as if Hollywood has been holding its breath, bracing for the aftershocks of this seismic shift in public perception. If Megyn Kelly and Rob Schneider can agree on something, it's probably time to take a hard look at the values we're celebrating and the people we're elevating to positions of power. The next chapter of this saga will be interesting.